I'm Cameron. I've been handling our mentors and keeping a regular communication with them.
Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm in charge of scheduling and managing our day-to-day responsibilities.
I'm Junior, and I'm the documentary lead.
I'm Sanaya, and I'm the team captain and portfolio lead.
And we're Focus Buddy. Many neurodivergent students, especially those with ADHD, autism, or sensory processing differences, struggle in traditional classrooms. These environments are often loud, visually busy, and not built for their needs.
Without support, students may lose focus, become overstimulated, or feel singled out, which can negatively impact their learning.
Our research showed schools often lack affordable, adaptable tools that support neurodivergent learners without drawing negative attention.
Instead of creating expensive full desks, we've designed a realistic solution. A desk topper that attaches to existing desks, providing comfort, inclusivity, and focus. Our brainstorming started wide, exploring full desks, modular partitions, built-in lighting, and tech options.
We refined ideas using decision matrices, sketches, and peer feedback to find the most practical, ethical, and effective solution.
We chose safe, durable materials like plastic board, reinforced foam, felt panels, and silicone grips. These form the basis of our sensory kit, which includes textures, lavender pouches, mini fidgets, Velcro, and foldable headphones.
The design is flexible, customizable to each student's sensory and learning preferences, yet simple enough for everyday classroom use.
We align FocusBuddy with CPSC safety rules, OSHA ergonomic guidelines, FCC electronic standards, and ASTM durability standards. Our goal is to design a product that is safe, functional, and ethical.
We considered cost and time. Desktoppers are affordable and attached to existing desks, making production realistic and scalable.
We've divided tasks based on strengths such as design, structure, research, presentation, and planning. This is to keep the workload balanced.
Our timeline includes prototype development, CAD modeling, cardboard mock-ups, and mentored partnerships. Even with possible setbacks, we designed a realistic path to success.
Post phase one, our group has done a great job of working together efficiently and researching neurodiversity in classroom settings. Moving forward, we want to dive heavier into our research to make sure the needs of our audience are really being met with our product and to make sure that this product will be integrated into classrooms efficiently and not be a distraction. Even though the workload does get really bad sometimes, like the fact that we know that it's going to make a difference to these students is what really keeps us going.
Our first prototype is made up of cardboard and is based off of our real dimensions. It has the panels and it has sensory placement on top, as well as a sensory kit on the side.
This prototype guides our next steps, gathering materials, mentoring, and constructing a full-scale, testable version. FocusBuddy is more than a desktopper. It's a step towards inclusive classrooms. Each student deserves the tools to feel comfortable, confident, and focused. We're excited to continue building, refining, and testing FocusBuddy as we move towards the Expo.
I feel like phase two went pretty well. We were able to get a good amount of data to help us add more stuff to our desktopper, as well as get the annotated sketches, which help us identify more of the topper and build more of a stable prototype. Overall, this phase was good, and hopefully, we can improve our project next time in a few months.
This too is very important to the project, and I feel like we did a good job. I worked on the annotated sketches and the technical drawings, and I feel like that accurately described the desktopper and how it was supposed to look if actually made. We sent out two surveys that were targeted at neurodivergent students and teachers who work with them, and we used this feedback to decide where we was going to add or take away from the desktopper.
Our mentor is Mrs. Dakota Walker. She works at Kings Mountain Intermediate School, where she teaches fifth graders who most of them have been diagnosed with ADHD slash or autism. She's been a great help throughout the progress of all the phases during our project. She has given us a lot of ideas and helped us improve our idea and our project as a whole, and helped us try to, or help us make sure that our project is well adjustable for different students that are higher or lower on the spectrum. During or after our presentations, we get Q&As, and some questions we have difficulty answering, and we bring those questions to her, and she helps us answer them since she's more she helps us answer the questions with her experience in the field, which is very good and helps us be more prepared for the next Q&A. If you're still not sure what the word neurodivergent means, neurodivergent is a word used to describe people whose brains work differently from what society considers typical. These differences aren't wrong or broken, they're simply part of natural human variation. Neurodivergent can include people with autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, and other ways of thinking and processing the world. People who are not neurodivergent are called neurotypical. Their brain functions in ways that match the expectations built into most schools, workplaces, and social environments. So what's the difference? Neurotypical brains tend to follow predictable patterns in attention, communication, and learning. Neurodivergent brains may process information in unique ways, sometimes faster, sometimes more creative, and sometimes with more sensitivity to detail or sensory input. These differences in thinking can have a big impact on how students focus in school. For example, a student with ADHD might struggle to stay engaged during long lectures, not because they don't care, but because their brain seeks stimulation and movement. Students with autism or sensory processing differences might find bright lights, noises, or crowded classrooms overwhelming. When the environment becomes too intense, focusing on schoolwork becomes that much harder. Others may think in pictures, patterns, or non-linear ideas. Traditional teaching like long text messages or step-by-step instructions might not match the way their brain naturally learns.
Students with autism may become overwhelmed by sensory input, have difficulty processing new information, and communicate nonverbally. They often rely heavily on routines and structured environments. So you may be wondering, how does FocusBuddy help these students? FocusBuddy helps create a predictable, calm workspace tailored to their needs. Things like our privacy panels help create a calm space, their soft sensory pads, a visual schedule strip to show they can communicate with their teachers, and headphones to reduce stimulation.
So let's talk about how students with ADHD/ADD can struggle in school. A lot of people believe that ADHD is just about being hyper or not paying attention, but it's really how the brain manages focus, energy, or organization. The problem is that their brain doesn't regulate attention the same way everyone else does. So in a classroom, they might have trouble sitting still during long lessons, staying focused on something that doesn't feel interesting, or blocking out distractions like noise, movement, or even their own thoughts. And their brain is literally working harder just to stay on task. Now, ADD is basically the inattentive type of ADHD, and it looks really different. In fact, they are often the quiet ones who slip under the radar or look like they're daydreaming. The brain has a harder time holding attention, especially during long lectures or tasks that require a lot of mental effort. They might understand the material but can still fall behind because their focus keeps drifting, or because they can forget instructions or lose track of assignments and take longer to actually start the task. This is where FocusBuddy comes in. For students with ADHD, FocusBuddy gives them something their brain needs: structure, movement, and sensory regulation by using the labor routine cards, the foot bands, quiet fidgets to help them focus and ground themselves. For students with ADD, FocusBuddy can help them stay grounded by giving them something small to touch. After a lot of changing of our idea during the phases, the final features of our desktop includes privacy panels only to be used during independent classroom time, LED lights that are controlled via teacher or via timer, built-in fidget sections, built-in headphone hook, and the sensory kit includes foot bands, earbuds, scented stickers, small, quiet handheld fidgets, label stickers, and sensory textured tips. With our mentor help and advice, what we changed was we avoided adding the lavender pouches just in case smaller kids were to put them in their mouth. We made sure that the LED lights were teacher-controlled or timer-controlled so that the students don't play around with it. We also made sure that the privacy panels are individually raised, so not all of them have to go up at one time, and maybe a student can just have one or two up at a time.
With our budget, we were able to almost complete the sensory kit. We received quiet handheld fidgets, foot bands, and an actual container for the kit. Due to our limited funding, we turned our focus towards developing the sensory kit rather than the full desktop or prototype. We waited for the materials. The goal was to be able to construct the sensory kit. For testing, we tried different textures and fidget toys to see which one were quiet and more calming. This helped us figure out the materials that we need for the desktop kit.
For phase three, I think it went okay. Shark Tank was a fun experience and taught us a lot about presentation and added some ideas to our desktop. We were supposed to get materials to build a solid prototype, but due to setbacks, we were only able to get the products for the sensory kit, which wasn't horrible, but all the materials would have been much better.
All right. Hey, our in-house expo was pretty good. We had all our stuff here. We pretty much had our scripts down packed. We was able to talk to people and iterate our project to them. I look forward to our actual expo so we can actually be able to have our actual desktopper and be able to show off our desktopper. And yeah, overall I think it went pretty good.
With your support, we can bring FocusBuddy from concept to classroom and give every student the chance to thrive. Every student deserves to feel comfortable, confident, and focused while learning.
FocusBuddy isn't just a product, it's a step towards a more inclusive classroom. With more funding, we would have built a full desktopper and expanded our sensory kit options and tested with a wider range of students. Thank you for coming along our journey with us. Come see us at the Early College Senior Expo in April 2026.